All right. Well, I'm a little early, but I said why not? What's the point of people sitting there waiting, even if I'm just sitting here and waiting? How are you guys tonight? Or girl? So what we're going to do tonight is I'm working on this campaign setting for Savage Worlds called Grimwood City. It is a urban fantasy um that setting that will take place in Grimwood City. It's the people are unaware of magic. Magic is all around them, and they're not. They have no clue. There is a Fae. There's Winter Fae and Summer Fae that reside in one of the districts. But tonight we're going to be working on the Purple Pips. The Purple Pips are a gnome gang that live in Littleton. And I thought it would be fun to show how they won't show up in the book. So I'm going to use some AI to help generate them, and we're going to um, use them in our campaign when we have a live campaign, which is going to be starting in May. So we're gonna have a actual live campaign starting in May. It's gonna be quite fun, I think. Get some interesting. I already have one person who wants to play a werebear, so that's very interesting. Can't wait to see that. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and take my description. Oops, not a big Tony. Description of Littleton, the small district. So Grimwood is broken up into 9 different districts. Um, 9 different districts. There's Marble Rock Piers. There's Wolf Waters, Silkway, Obsidian, Iron Chapel, Dawn Row, Winterbank, High Rise, and Littleton. Littleton's a small little part. It's on the edge of Grimwood. It was where most of the factories back in the Industrial Revolution were. So a lot of the factories are in this area. Um, so what in Grimwood, the gnomes have pretty much gained control over Littleton, and they use Littleton for their own little world of chip of Grimwood. Um, and so what we're going to do today is we're going to use ChatGPT to try to create the actual just want this piece. Create the actual purple pips. I've created the green fingers, the bluebells, and the red caps. The red caps are probably the more violent of the group gnome gangs. But these are the four different gnome gangs in Littleton. So they're all actually in Littleton. The green fingers are a plant-based thieving group. The bluebells are a very peaceful group of people, and I'm not fully sure what to do with the purple pips, but I like the name, so I stuck with it. So we're gonna try to use AI to generate it. Yeah, I liked the red caps. I thought the red caps was a good idea, and I really like their logo. The logo that the Midjourney helped me create was, I think, really cool. They're definitely gonna show up. The red caps are definitely showing up in the actual play. I haven't figured out where yet, but they're gonna show up. Just for some of the members, like Big Tony, Spike, Dusty, Blaze, Rascal, and Tiki. I like. I think they're great. So let's but we're working on the purple pips today. Oops. The Littleton. Purple pips. So how I use ChatGPT is I will put in a description of the area, and then I will say there is a group. I probably need to zoom this in so you guys can see. There is a group. There is a gnome gang called Purple. Oh, help if I can never type when I'm actually. Tips. Can you help describe backstory, including a leader and members? Well, I'll just see what it comes up with. Just to start to see what it happens. Notorious gang of burglars. Okay. So ChatGPT came up with a notorious gang of burglars and thieves in Littleton, known for their cunning and stealth. The gang is led by a gnome called Sneaky Pete. Earned his nickname for his ability to slip in and out of places undetected. Sneaky Pete is a crafty strategist mastermind. He has been able to build a loyal following of skilled thieves. Members of the Purple Pips wear purple bandanas and use a special type of lockpicking tool that they have developed themselves. Ooh. They are very secretive and tend to operate under the cover of darkness. The gang is notorious for the success in stealing valuable items from homes and businesses of Littleton's residents. backstory of the Purple Peeps is a bit murky, but some say that they formed as a splinter group from the Green Fingers, disillusioned by their leaders' greed and lack of loyalty. That will have to change because that's not really the case. Others believe that they are originally a group of amateur thieves who banded together for mutual protection and support, but quickly rose to infamy due to their success and ingenuity. Regardless of their origins, Purple Peeps are forced to be reckoned with in Littleton, and they've made enemies along the way. However, they gained a tight-knit group, fiercely loyal to their leader and other members. I like a lot of this, but this is how I use it. So I go from here and I'll put in my description, what it came up with here. I will change this part here. Their leaders and solution by their leaders, self-righteousness. Of course, I can't spell. Because the Green Fingers are not a notorious gang. They tend to steal, but they only steal what they need, and they tend to be very nature oriented. So they're not really bad per se. Oh, stop making. Oh, AI is very appealing. So then what I'll do is I'll save that. And then what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll ask Alejandro. Scabbard is really useful. Never heard of Scabbard. It's great. And what I'll do is I'll come in here and ask for some world building suggestions for Purple Pips. And you can get 8 different options from Alejandro. So I will just accept them all. And then I will go through them. What methods do the Purple Pips use to steal valuables from residents? How did the Purple Pips gain notoriety in Littleton? Here, this is a good question to ask ChatGPT. But you have to change it a little. You can't just go in, how did the Purple Pips gain notoriety? You have to say, can you help me describe how the Purple Pips gain notoriety in Littleton? Let's see what that comes up with. All right, so we have the Purple Pips gaining notoriety in Littleton by being one of the most successful and daring gangs of the thieves in the districts. They became known for their ability to pull off seemingly impossible heists, often targeting high-value targets such as the wealthy homes and businesses. Their success was due in part to their unique set of skills and tools, and the members of the Purple Pips are highly skilled in lockpicking and other forms of covert entry. They have developed their own specialized tools for the job, and they are also experts in stealth and were able to move silently and undetected through winding streets and tight alleys of Littleton. In addition to their skills, the Purple Pips, known for their cunning and creativity, they often came up with elaborate plans to gain entries to their targets and evade detection, and they were not afraid to take risks to get what they wanted. Their success were often the talk of the town, and they quickly gained a reputation as the most skilled and daring thieves in Littleton. However, their notoriety came with a price, and the Purple Peeps have made enemies in their pursuit of wealth and power, and they are constantly looking over the shadows for rival gangs, law enforcement. Beside the dangers, the Purple Pips continued to thrive in Littleton, driving their hunger for adventure and desire. I like some of this. I don't like all of it. I like this part here. But I want them to be targeting wealthy homes and businesses and high rise central, because high rise central is where all the major corporations are, and businesses. So I want them to be targeting that. This was I like this part too. That's fine. So we can find, for the time being, I'm just going to come in here, just paste it in here. What I'll do is I'll take this and I'll rewrite this to fit this information here in a little bit. In addition to their skills, known for the cunning creativity. All right, so this gives me an idea. So what methods do they use? They actually use a magic system. And they have a magician that can cast teleportation. What else can they do? Teleportation. All right, so let's go a little bit further. Can you let me describe members of the Purple Pips? Pips and their backstories. All right, so we have Sneaky Pete. As mentioned before, Sneaky Pete is the leader of the Purple Pips and a master thief. He has earned his nickname for his ability to move silently and undetected. We already said that. Over time, he became more skilled and daring. He eventually became the leader of his own gang. Sticky Fingers, a female known with a talent for pickpocketing. She grew up in a wealthy family but found the lifestyle stifling and boring. She turned to pickpocketing as a way to rebel against and gain some excitement in her life. She joined the Purple Pips because she admires their boldness and skill. Shadow. Shadow is quiet and reserved gnome who specializes in surveillance and reconnaissance. He grew up as an orphan on the streets in Littleton, learned to hide in the shadows to avoid danger. Over time, he developed a talent for gathering information and observing his surroundings. He joined the Purple Pips because he saw them as family and that he could rely on. Locksmith, a dwarf who specializes in lockpicking and safecracking. He comes from a long line of locks. Ooh, that's interesting. So, adding a dwarf into the mix instead of all of them being gnomes, that will be interesting, because dwarfs. There's two clans of dwarfs in Grimwood. There's the Brown Shields, and then there's the Copper Heads. And the Copperheads are very money oriented. So it'd be interesting to see what I like these guys. So we're going to add those to the people. Save this so that we can get the pronoun detector to detect our people. So Sneaky Pete, let's create that character. Leader of the Purple Pips. Probably need this zoomed in too. He is the leader. And Sticky Fingers, the character, and Sticky Fingers is a female gnome who joined Purple Pips. Alright, so we've created them. And she is a member. All right, and there's magic system is not. Okay. We need to create, it didn't detect, oh, it did detect shadow and sticky fingers. A shadow. Oh, this is not, I have to create a last name for shadow. Call him, get a name? Think of a name? I mean, I can use the AI, but I was trying to think of a name outside of AI. Shadow. Um, let's see. Oh, you give me a last name for Shadow. Shadow Grimstalker. Ooh, I like that. We'll call him Shadow Grimstalker. Stalker. Shadow Grimstalker. All right. And what we'll do is we'll just create that because I think it's not going to recognize it. Find out. Oh, it did. Excellent. Shadow Grimstalker. Create a character. Um, make him a member of the Purple Pips. All right, and then we have Locksmith. Not sure why it's not detecting Locksmith. So we'll Locksmith Brown Shield because I think he's a Brown Shield. I don't think he's going to be a I think he's going to be a member of the actual clan, like head of the clan type member. I don't know why it's not scanning. I'll have to. Maybe that's because I had that member. All right. So we have our four people. Let's fill these out a little bit. Let's start with Sneaky Pete. You help me flesh out Sneaky Pete backstory and describe what he looks like. Okay, so the reason why I did what he looks like is I'm going to kind of use that to send that to Midjourney to try to get a peek of what he might look like. So let's see what it gave. Sneaky Pete is known with a wiry frame and nimble fingers. He has a sharp nose, piercing blue eyes, and mischievous grin that hints at his love of mischief. His hair is a messy, tangled brown curls, but he keeps it hidden under a purple bandana. That's perfect, except I don't want gnome because Midjourney, if you put gnome in there, they instantly give them a pointed hat unless you tell it not to. And none of my gnomes are really that way. Let's I'm gonna bring Midjourney over here, my Discord over here. So, and then just show you how I do this. So I don't know if this is visible. Unfortunately, I can't. Oh, I can zoom in. Cool. A wiry frame, nimble fingers. He has sharp nose. I usually put a man with wiry fingers, sharp nose. He has sharp nose, piercing blue eyes. Let's see what that gives me. So I'm using the 5th edition of it. So we'll let that think on my other screen while we finish up with his backstory. Uh, so he grew up in a poor family from a young age. He learned how to survive by his wits. He quickly realized that he had a talent for thievery. He began stealing from the wealthy residents of Grimwood. I'm going to change that to Grimwood. It's saying Littleton because I only gave it Littleton. Bad link in Discord. Oh no, I sent that everywhere. Um, I'll fix that right now because it should be the right link. Hmm. All right. Well, interesting. Had a comment at the end. Oh, all right. Let me that so it doesn't. That would cause it. All right. So going back here. So Sneaky Pete grew up in a poor family. As he got older, he realized he had a knack of leadership. He began assembling a gang of thieves. Despite his success, he remained humbled with his goes, Robin Hood like figure. All right, so we're going to take that. And I'm going to change it a little bit because I don't fully like it. First thing is it's going to be residents of Grimwood. To support him and his family. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that for now. Yeah, no, Robin Hood's not. Okay, let's ask Alejandro. Let's ask Alejandro to give me some world ideas about see what it thinks. How does all right, let's add those. See which ones we can use. What dangerous capers during his thief? Oh, that's a good one. Let's ask Journey about that. I mean, awesome. And then we get some interesting history about Sneaky Pete. Peak. That's cool. Um, I'm going to put those under here because I don't want those to be known to my players, and my players have access to most of this. So I will keep that there. Under thing. What method does Sneaky Pete use to recruit new members to his gang? I don't really like that. If when the time comes that I need to figure that out, I will. Yeah, that's not really proper because I how does Sneaky Pete use the money he steals? Okay. That's a good one because they want Sneaky Pete. Okay, let's do this. So he has a Robin Hood complex. So he has a Robin Hood complex. So let's make him. Oh, and by the way, Mid Journey finished. So this is what it gave me. Mid Journey gave me. I like the one with the purple banana. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm just not all my players watch me, like my wife. She's not watching me. So I definitely understand. I definitely want the purple bandana. I guess they all have a purple bandana, but that's the only one on the head. Uh, which of these four do you guys like for Sneaky Pete? um, I think I'm gonna go with the realistic one. Lower right. Yeah, I was. All right, we're gonna go with the lower right. Save that for now. Get there. Let's put an image on this. Exactly what I want. I want him to be up to something. All right, and you know what? I'm gonna create events for these. So he was a participant. We'll say participant for right now. For these, I want them to be events. Event. All right, so we've created events for those, so they won't pop up again. Because we still have some editing to do. All right. We know what he uses his money for. He does Robin Hood stuff, so he goes back and forth. All right. Do want to put this in? Good question. What strategies does he use? His team has developed a teleportation. Uh, Not a teleportation. A black hole, like the old Looney Tunes black hole. Um, Wall device that allows them to walk through walls. Yeah, we don't need size of the gang. How does the don't need to select new members? We're good with that. And what measurements? Good with all of those. Good with those questions too. I'm gonna keep them because I want to answer them at a later date. But all right. So Sneaky Pete is very very close to being done as far as that is concerned. But let's go do Sticky Fingers. Bring back up this. Can you help me drive a backstory or sticky fingers and describe what she looks. Okay. So, Sticky Fingers is a female gnome, short, curly brown hair, bright green eyes. She has a thin frame and quick reflexes. She always wears her purple bandana as a symbol of her loyalty to the Purple Pips. She grew up in a wealthy family in Littleton, but she found that lifestyle was boring and suffocating. She was always looking for excitement and adventure. Excuse me, I'm going to drink a drink. She began pickpocketing as a way to rebel against her parents. We know that. As she got older, Sticky Fingers became more skilled. She began targeting wealthy and powerful targets, using her small size and quick reflexes to evade capture. She became known one of the most successful pickpockets in Littleton, and she developed a reputation. Eventually, she caught the attention of the Purple Pips, and she was recruited to join the gang. She was impressed by their boldness and skill, and she quickly found a home among the knit group. You know, I want to add more to this. I'm going to say, can you give me a personality for Sticky Fingers? I'm definitely going to keep all of this because it all sounds good. That up. Again, I'm not using this in the book. This is just for my campaign. So I don't mind using AI for this. Like this. Um, female Female short with curly brown hair. She has thin, quick reflexes. She always wears a purple bandana. Alright. See what Midjourney comes up with this while we continue. Let's get rid of gnome and say just female with short, curly brown hair. Alright, while that thinks, come back here to see what it came up with for personality. Rebellious, resourceful, empathetic, loyal. She is fiercely loyal to her friends and loved ones. She will stop at nothing to protect them. She sees some members of the Purple Pips as her new family. Empathetic. Despite her reputation as a thief, Sticky Fingers has a strong sense of empathy and compassion. She feels guilty about stealing from people who are less fortunate. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with all of that too. We'll just add it as a edit on here. Personality. Just add it at the bottom. Let's see what questions Alejandro comes up with. Ask. See if there are any good ones. Oh, fresh. All right, so Alejandro, let's see here. What kind of challenges does Sticky Fingers try to get to take on to rebel against the authority? What inspired Sticky Fingers to join the Purple? That's a good one. Let's ask the AI about that. Sticky Fingers was inspired to join the Purple Pips by their reputation as a group of skilled and daring thieves. A pickpocket, she had always admired their boldness and creativity. She saw them as a group of kindred spirits who shared her love of mischief and adventure. In addition to their reputation, Sticky Fingers was drawn to the Purple Pips for their sense of community and loyalty. None of this I really want to use so far. She always felt a little like an outsider in Littleton, but the members of the Purple Pips welcomed her with open arms and made her feel like she belonged. Finally, Sticky Fingers has always inspired by a sense of purpose and meaning found in the Purple Pips. As a pickpocket, she always felt like her thievery was without purpose or direction, but the Purple Pips gave her a sense of mission. Oh, cool. That will be a lot. That will be really handy. Because then I wouldn't have to go back and forth. I could just do it all in one spot. Um, so basically, the AI said that she is in the gang because Sneaky Pete uh, gave Sticky Fingers a reason to use her abilities for a just so that I know I'm not going to copy all of that paragraphs. It's mostly saying the same thing over and over again. And I'd rather just limit it to one sentence. Let's see. How does Sticky Finger use the resources for advantage? That's fine. We'll ignore that for now. How does Sticky Fingers interact with? We're gonna definitely get rid of that for now. What are some consequences? Not that because it's bad, it's just I don't think I need to go that in depth with this gang. What are some consequences that Sticky Fingers has faced due to her rebellious behavior? That would be interesting to know. What motivated the no? What was rebellious nature in her past? How did Sticky Finger develop loyalty and empathy? No. How does the Purple Gang respond to Sticky Finger rebelliousness? No. How does Sticky Fingers use her resourcefulness in the to help the Purple Pink game? That will be useful. So I'll keep that for a later in case I need it for a game. Let's see what I generated for her. I'm thinking also the lower right on this one too. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay. Let's go with that for her. Yeah, I was debating about the upper one too, but I think I'm gonna go with this one because I like the purple. I like that it's covering up most of her hair. Um, all right, going back to the purple pips. Which one? The image generation or the the chat? Yeah, I agree with you on DM Tails. I think that's a good reason. The image generation is mid journey. All right, let's see here. Shadow Grimstalker. Let's see what comes up with for him. I'm gonna copy and paste it now. And shadow, because it doesn't know that we called him Grimstalker. It's not she. I don't know if it has an API. To my knowledge, it's only Discord at the moment. To my knowledge, it's only Discord at the moment. But let's find out. Let's take a look. Don't think it does. No, it's only it's yeah, they don't have anything on here about you. Yeah, no, it's only on Discord. All right, so Shadow is quite a reserved gnome with a lean frame and piercing brown eyes. He has short black hair that keeps tucked under his purple bandana, and he wears dark clothing that helps him blend into his surroundings. Grew up as an orphan, and he learned to hide in the shadows and avoid danger from a young age. Over time, he developed the talent to gather information observing his surroundings. Um, Using a small frame and quite demure to move undetected through the winding streets, alleys, and of Littleton. Despite his challenges, Shadow is a resourceful, independent gnome. Fiercely intelligent, analytical, with a talent of solving complex problems and seeing patterns. I think this works for Shadow. But here's something I have to do. Because I don't want it to pick up the other Shadow I have. So I have to replace Shadow with Shadow Grimstalker. It doesn't try to create the Shadow Grimstalker. Okay, so somewhere I had a shadow. Hide in the shadow. That was supposed to be shadow. All right. So there's that. Let's while we this might make a mess here because of the blending into his background. But let's take a look and see what it creates. We might have to modify that one. Only the shadow knows. um I think that's pretty good for him. We need to come up with a quite reserved gnome I'll use for his tagline. Um, yeah. So that's yeah. Let's see what Alejandro has to say. Maybe Alejandro will come up with something. Usually does at least one or two things. Um, yeah. Let's do this one. What challenges? Be interesting because he was an orphan, so survival, isolation. Yeah, that's not what I want though. I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to actually put matte shadows. What specific magical? Because I think he should be magical. Fully schooling in your process? I hope so. I hope this helps. Um, Shadow has talent of gathering information, observing his surroundings, and without being noticed, he's able to move silently and undetected in the shadows. He's a mechanical engineer. I like those two. Analytical problem solving and stealth and agility. I'm gonna add to that. Going to add magically and create shroud. Shroud of shadow to hide in darkness. Cameras. So that I want him to be the magical one that's come up with all the tools and stuff. I want him to be like, he's the one that came up with the portal that they could slap on a wall and step through. How long has he been? Pretty close to the start of the group. He is the reason they can perform daring heist. Well, heist, obviously. I still think that's interesting. I don't think that's going to help him. I don't want to know that. It's kind of the same question, so I'm good with that. No. Where does his intelligence? No. What method does he employ to defend his friends? No, I don't care. What challenges was he faced to overcome? Yeah, none of that I care about. That's not Alejandro's fault. It's just that this is a minor character, and I don't need to know those extra details. Um. All right, let's take a look at. Ooh. Step it. The Body Rapunzel cartoon, she had a magical paintbrush, and if she painted a scene on the wall, she could step into it and go to that place. That's oh, you're right. That is true. I think I'm gonna stick with the Looney Tunes though idea. Though that's a good idea too. Hmm, that's a tough one because they're both really good ideas. It does kind of look like Jimmy Fallon. I was also thinking it looked more. Actually, I thought it looked more like the guy who plays. I can't think of his name right now. Um, but he plays Moon Knight. Think. I think I'm gonna go with the lower one, right one again. I just think it has more intel. Isaac, yes, Oscar Isaac. I feel like it kind of has a little bit of him in it. All right, let's add that to him. Ooh. All right. I like to get the star because I'm that type of person. And I know a couple things for this guy. So I'm going to just go ahead and put these in here. He is going to be an NPC. He is an agent of... Not really agent of anybody. He is an ally of anybody. He's a benefactor of anybody. Birthplace was Littleton. He was none of those. But this should be enough to get me the star because I'm a star. I like the stars. I don't ever send them to the oops, sorry about that, guys. I don't ever send them to the exchange, but I do prefer getting the stars. Speaking of sticky fingers, I haven't even got the stars for her either, and it's because of my connections. So let's fill in what I can for her. She's going to be an NPC again. She is a gnome. That should be enough. I'll fill in more later, I'm sure. All right, well, thank you for stopping by, DM Tales. All right. So that puts a star on her, which makes me happy. I know. It's a silly thing, but I like it. All right. Locksmith Brown shield. Let's go ahead and come up here. I'm just gonna grab this again. This time I'm just gonna put locksmith. Locksmith. And I'm also going to put in, let's give him the last name of Brown. Oh, what did Brown Shield? All right, so this will generate. Let's take a look at what this says. Is a male gnome with a oh, he's not a gnome though. Let's regenerate that because he's not a gnome. No. I think it's messing up because of the brown shield. So let's just... Or it's been so long that... No, he's a dwarf. I like that he's a dwarf, so I want to keep him. I want to keep him as a dwarf because I think he is a knight. I think a dwarf is a good idea. Thanks for following, Big City Extract. I think we just got a bot, but that's okay. All right, so we have Locksmith Brown Shadow's male dwarf with a short blonde. Yeah. Oh, I can... We'll see if it continues. All right. So Locksmith Brown Shield is a male dwarf with a short blonde hair and bright blue eyes. He is has a muscled build and a mysterious grin that gets him into trouble. Now, interesting, I can keep in Midjourney, I can keep dwarf and it will come up with a decent picture of a dwarf. But gnome, it always gives a pointed hat, period. Unless you put dash dash no pointed hat. But that's annoying when I can just type man and get something just as good instead of gnome. Locksmith was born into a family of locksmiths. He learned the trade from a young age. And he had a talent for figuring out how to open even the most complicated locks and safe. His small shop, Littleton. He got older. Locksmith got more interested in challenging more and more slanks. Caught the attention of. Yeah, this is all good. I'm not gonna sit here and read it all to you guys, but it all kind of works. Save that and see what happens. We can just say that's the same. All right, and we can say only dwarf the purple tips. Only save. Only dwarf in the purple pips. Master locksmith. Let's see if it came back. It did. I'm thinking this one here in the upper right. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm thinking the upper right looks pretty good. Yeah. YouTube. I even feel that one's kind of cartoonish, but I'm okay with it. Bam. Uh, let's add some connections to him. His gender is male. Is dwarf. I really love that feature stuff. He is an NPC. And I want him to be a member of the Brown Shields too. Member of Brown. The shared categories. It's super helpful. You can also do actual like photo rendering too, and it will make more of a photorealistic. But I'm okay with some of my tokens being cartoon. Yeah, if you want a grittier feeling, I'm okay with it not being super gritty all the time. Um, but within a matter of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we have a very simple gang. But I want to do one last thing to this gang. Can you help me describe what the symbol for the purple pips looks like as graffiti? I think I spelled it wrong. All right. Spell check will help. There we go. And then I'll take that and I will pump it into Midjourney and see what it comes up. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. Reproduce is banned. Okay. So should have known that. So where's reproduce? Consistent two lines intersecting, forming a stylized X. The lines are thick and curved, giving symbol of energy. The circle is slightly off center to when the symbol is asymmetric. Let's try that. Okay, that worked. And then we'll get information back from that, and then that will finish off the purple gang, purple pips, and that will finish all my gangs. Their lair. I suppose I could get that in depth. Um, yeah, let's find out what their lair looks like. It usually does. Um, I mean, got sometimes I have to add the file. See what that does. Because I really want it to be more graffiti than anything else. It did do it. A small purple X with two intersecting lines inside of it, forming a stylized X. The lines are thick and slightly curved, giving the symbol a sense of movement, energy, and the circle is slightly off center, offset to one side of the line, which adds to the asymmetry and dynamic feel. I like this one. I was just curious. Just curious what graffiti one might look like, because I really want it to be graffiti. Kind of like that one. This one here. Or are you talking back up here? Kind of like that one. That one's kind of cool. I think because I want it to be able to be something that can be spray painted. I think I'm gonna go with uh this one here. So I think that one is the one I'm gonna go with. Is that what you were talking about? Bottom left. Oh. Problem, there's a delay. Bottom left would be... Talking about that one? Oh, it catches up from the delay. Oh, okay. All right. Purple pips are done. Which, honestly, what? Oh, yeah. Have you figured out why it does that yet, stuff? Why when adding an image it still doesn't add the um star? I'm thinking it could be like a throwback to how their portal machine works, or that goes onto the wall that lets them go through the wall. All right. So that is the purple pips. Now, I got a question. Do you guys want to see the other AI thing I use to create maps? All right. Let me pull it up here. Take me a second. Um, it's called Dungeon Alchemist. It's second to load. I should have it loaded, but it takes up the whole screen and doesn't have a window mode. So yeah, and it helps you generate battle maps, or it doesn't do world maps or anything like that, but battle maps like churches or castles or dungeons. I'll show it to you. It's AI generation. It's not as it's you don't type in words or anything. It's more of a point and click type thing. But I'll definitely show it to you guys if it loads. It was working fine just a few an hour ago. Tested it. And crash. All right, one more time. Tested this before I went on to make sure it was working. I promise. There it goes. I haven't tested the new stuff. They have new stuff in here that I haven't played with yet. So, what do you guys want to make? Because I don't have anything that I really want to make. Um, let's do let's do a man. Just kind of pick the room you want. Right now, I'll just do random because I'm just starting the mansion, and it pulls it in. And if you don't like what you got, you can refresh it to, and it AI generates where things go to make them make sense. Um, Based on where everything is. Now, if you don't like the room, we can do it for yeah. Let's do that. I'll show you how to do that. Let me redo the terrain quick. Let's do a new one. Want to do 5 by 55. We'll do air cleaning. Let's have a river nearby. We'll create the hills. Yes, I know it's a large map. Or I could have just crashed it. We'll find out. Might have bit off more than I can chew. Okay. All right. So you want a shrine, huh? Do forest encounter with nearby stone shrine. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is Dungeon Alchemist. It's a really cool tool that allows you to quickly add. So say you wanted more of a shrine in there, you can actually place objects. You can type shrine. Let's see what it comes up with. Yeah. So you can add shrines. You could remove shrines. You can do all that. Say we don't like the layout of this room, we can come here and just reshuffle it. Reshuffle. Uh, Say we want to change the terrain. We don't like we want to lower terrain here and create like a tunnel area. We can do that. We can flatten the terrain to room height so that everything is flat near it, so it proper like people flattened it out. Um, You can paint water, ice, fire, lava, uh, liquid water. On top of that, you can do stuff. You can add, you can mix them. So say we want to put a dungeon on this side here. So, and this is all AI generated, so you can like that. So, um, since this doesn't match this, you can actually come in here to the walls and you can find the one you're using. You can actually replace it. And we'll replace it so it matches. Um, Now we have a temple with a shrine inside it. Let's change this door. Rid of that door, and we'll add a big steel door. Oh, except that's gone the wrong way. Hold on. So you can do like a big steel door in it, and it's quick and simple to add build stuff. So now let's say we want um big tree branch here. You can just add it, and then we can drain. The only downfall to this is it floats stuff because it only has one level, the room level. So you can't like sink things into it easy. It can be done, but it's not done easy. So you can um so yeah, you can do stuff like that. What's really cool is you can change the lighting. If you want it midday, evening, sunrise, modify it even more. You can change it however you want. Change the coloring of the night. You can say that the sun is rising. Choose what color you want. It's a red sun. You can red light. Increase the lighting. Uh, Rise it up. And rising it up and down changes the shadow. Now, what's really cool is I use Foundry for all of this. So you can actually just file export, and it gives you a couple different options here. You can do 3D perspective walls. You can do limited perspective. You can do orthographic. Actually, I got a better way of showing this. So this is orthographic. So it's um um so this is 3D perspective. You can do orthographic, which doesn't give you the 3D walls. On top of that, there is special effects you can do, like black smoke. You can add smoke, necrotic smoke, fog. You can do steam, do white wisp, sprawling mist, um, fire, alchemist fire, cinders, eternal flame, fire. And when you go to export this, you can just export it out. You can choose Foundry export. You can do WebM, which will record. You can do video. So you can literally export a video and it will actually automatically record, do all the effects for you. You can also when you export it, you can also tell it only export lights to VTT. And what that will do is it gives you two files. You have either an image file or a video file for you, and you have a JSON. So you take that JSON and you create a new scene in Foundry, and you can right click import data in Foundry and import that JSON, and it gives you all the lights, all the doors, all the walls, and then you add the image file or the video file. The video file is new, so I'm kind of excited that they have that. New fireflies, willow whips, electric arcs. So you can do quite a bit as far as, and then you can clear effects. But on top of that, you can import your Hero Forge tokens. So if you create Hero Forge tokens, you can actually import those tokens. So you can add your tokens in there if you want. Personally, I would leave that for Foundry, but you never know. But yeah, so it has a lot of objects still. I mean, you are limited because of you're limited to the objects that they have, but they're constantly coming out with more. And it's not badly priced. I think it's like 40 or $50. But it really allows you to like a snowman. You can add favorites. You can check out what new items they have. You can increase items. You can shrink items. You can turn lights on and off on items that have lights. And this is better seen at the dark. So like I can change the lighting color. You can add torches. It's really awesome. Like campfire. Burning beacon. And all of this now can be, yeah, long way from grid and mats. Yeah, it's all on Steam. So you can get it off Steam. It's a really reasonable price for everything that they give you. You can create desk. Oh, what's really cool. So I create a desk. If I copy this desk, copy the chair. I didn't want the chair. desk. It does a different desk. So that one has an open book on it with a lamp. This is just books. So every time I copy it, it will give me a random. No, but they have made mention that they are going to be building sci-fi assets for it. They haven't said when, and since they still have a long ways to go on the fantasy assets, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. There is do I have it? I can't remember if I bought it or not. Um there is one called Chaos Builder that does a lot of sci-fi stuff. Um it wasn't as good as this uh last time I looked, but it's been a while since I looked. It was still very fresh when I looked. Um but Chaos Builder has a lot of it had more sci-fi stuff because it included that in the get-go. In the Kickstarter, they specifically said they're going to have some sci-fi stuff. And it does. I mean, there are things that you can do. Just going to start a new map that's a little bit smaller. I'm just going to do skeleton plane. So that's new. Let's take a look at that. So something conflict that it I know that they're thinking about putting it in for this one. Oh, that's neat. Special. Kind of fits actually. Um but like you can add laboratories. Chronos. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Chronos Builder. You can also get it on Steam. I don't even have it installed, or I would load it up for you. And again, I have no idea if it's good because when I first started with it, it was way behind this one. But it has more. It's more of a map editor, so it has a little bit more friendly. It's not stuck to one floor like this one. This one has one level and that's it. And that's the only downfall to this one is that it's one level. You can increase increase the tap thing, but if you wanted to place a building on this, say I wanted a castle up here, it actually cuts into the uh, land because the building it kind of cuts into the land, so it only has one level. That's the only downfall to this software that I have found. Um, has desert buildings. And it tries to match the outside wall to the outside wall that you're connecting it to. Like if I did this outside, it would be tents. But because it's connected to the ice palace, it's trying to make them merged. So it's a really cool AI system that allows you to do a lot of cool, nifty things. Now, is it perfect? No. Do I still load up Dungeon Draft all the time? Yes. But in a pinch, I've needed to create an N real quick. And to create an N was pretty simple as going to forest, broadleaf. Let's do flat just so I don't have to deal with it. Let's do no river. So, okay, so say I want to create an inn here. Go to tavern. I can create a great hall. Let's create a big great hall. So we'll create a hall, and then I can create a hallway coming down this way. Then let's put a latrine here. Kitchen back here. And a pantry on the side of that kitchen. And let's do some rooms, bedrooms. Break up so the not. And sometimes what I like to do is go into Mansion and just create a master bedroom that can be used like, and create a lavatory. Of course, I have to move this. Where did it create the door? Didn't create a door. Okay, well, let's create a door. But I got myself an inn within what? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? It was a nice, easy way of creating an inn. On top of that, if I really wanted to get really particular, I could even come up here and they have, under castle, they have stables. I could create a stable on the outskirts. Gotta move some trees. Bloop. I can. It's actually a quick way of clearing terrain. But, and then you can quickly paint a dirt path and into the stables, and you have yourself a tavern that you can quickly. I mean, literally, I could export this and put it into Foundry in 2 minutes. So, it's really, really powerful. I highly recommend it for any fantasy genre. If I happen to not like this Great Hall, I can just refresh it. Oh, now I have a bar. Hey, look at that. Actually, I like that one a little bit more. Do you guys want to see it exported and imported into Foundry? I'd be happy to show you. But that's what I use for that. That is all AI generated. Oh, it's quick and easy. All right, let me export it. So let's do something I haven't done. We'll do 3D perspective, do Foundry export. We're going to do WebM because I've never done that before, so I'd like to see what it looks like. I'm going to turn off grid because I don't typically like grid on my. And then I export. We'll save this. I'll save it on my desktop for now. It's going to take a second to export. Probably a little bit longer because I used WebMD, Web Movie.